Hi everyone, Ted Wyman here at the CFL Winter Meetings in Blue Mountains, Ontario. I am with Winnipeg-Bluebombers General Manager Kyle Walters, and Kyle, obviously, first off, congratulations on winning a Grey Cup, ending a 29-year drought. Can you just give me a sense of how that feels today, 6 weeks after it happened?
Well, it still feels great. It still feels great. I mean, that Grey Cup hangover with the parades and the excitement has sort of passed, and now we're back at the meetings, and it is nice to show up here. Nice to have congratulations from your colleagues on winning the Grey Cup, and but now it's business as normal. We'll start these meetings and kind of get debriefed on some of the major points that heading into 2020, and Mike and I on the ride up here, we're talking roster and free agency and all those sort of things, and get going on the draft. So it's now officially back to whether we won the Grey Cup or didn't make the playoffs. It's kind of the same blueprint now in the off season.
Yeah, and obviously there's a lot to be discussed here at the league level. You've got work to do at the team level. You've lost some players in the NFL. You don't have your quarterbacks under contract yet, but you seem cool and calm about it all. It's not like you're panicked because you don't have all these guys under.
No, it's normal. I mean, everybody's going through it with all the free agents. All the teams have all the free agents, and it's just you'll start seeing now teams will buckle down, and nobody had a lot of cap space left prior to December 31st. So now with the holidays, and I think you're going to start to see teams start zeroing in, and you've got a month, and generally when you start targeting a player to re-sign, you'll know pretty quickly if the agent's on board and what their interests are. Once the talks start, you can get a few guys knocked off fairly quickly. So it's not a big concern. It's, as I said, it's the same as every other year. You sit down and start calling the agents and start targeting the guys you want, and see if you can get some guys done before they become free agents.
And you said, and Mike repeated to me, that you want to get that coaching staff in place before you make some of these final decisions on players. But you do have a big decision at quarterback. It's a pretty big decision for the organization going forward. Obviously, there must be a lot of discussion on that one.
Of course. I mean, with the scouting department, with the coaching staff, we've certainly had a lot of discussions about this, but we've got certainly an idea of what direction we want to go, but until and I've explained all the agents the process that we're in, that we really need to get our when we're speaking that position, we want to get our offensive staff in place, have input from everybody, make sure that the coaches are all on board. It's just the way we operate here, and most teams do, that you're going to need some input from especially at that position. You want everybody on board.
So you and all the other general managers, the presidents, the head coaches are all here in Blue Mountains, Weston Resort, for these meetings. What do you see as the issues that need to be tackled most importantly right now?
Yeah, I don't know if there's issues. I think it's just rare is the time that we all get on the same page. We'll have meetings with the GMs and the coaches around the draft, quickly at the Grey Cup. But this is the first where there's an extended block of time for the coaches, the GMs, and the presidents to all be in the same meeting room, and it's as much to get all on the same page, where we can all hear and have discussions, and particularly where you go through a CBA issue, or not an issue, just the timing of it, I guess, where it was right before training camp started. We really didn't get a chance to process or evaluate the 2020 implications or ramifications of those talks. So this will make, and there's still some questions in regards to some of the global stuff and some of the internationalized Americans is the term. So it'll just be really good to get clarification for all of us as we kind of set our roster and our season.
Well, obviously a lot of work to do for you, Kyle. Always no off season for you, really. But again, it must feel a little bit better when you're got a championship under your belt.
It's nice to come to it's a nice to be at these meetings after winning the Grey Cup. I can tell you that.
No doubt. All right, at the CFL Winter Meetings in Blue Mountains, Ontario, I'm Ted Wyman for Kyle Walters.